Yeah, I agree, Mike. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, it is kind of nice to have it stay with them. It gives you a pretty clear indication of what car is where and what they're there for. Oh my gosh. See, this is why we always have something happen. You can't see back there, but I'm just going to go back. We lost a car back here. It wouldn't be an operating session if we didn't have a little snafu, right? I'm going to have to change the coupler on this. On that Erie boxcar, the coupler on that one just doesn't work. But anyway, yeah, having the cars stay with the cards stay with the cars is nice. And like I said, if I had a much bigger layout and I was running longer trains, maybe I would, do something to simplify it so you wouldn't have to be carrying around a whole stack of cards with you all the time. But for what I'm doing, it makes sense. And these things were super cheap. I mean, I bought them from Micromark, and it was like less than $5 for the car cards and the waybills. So, all right. So we've made the long, the long trek here to Gilfillan. So it's pretty simple. We're going to pick up the Union Pacific boxcar that is presumably now loaded, and we're going to drop off the CNW boxcar. And there would have been a small crossing. There still is, where the tracks were at Gilfillan, there was a small crossing right there past the little whistle stop depot. So I'm really impressed with these ESU decoders. I know everybody has their feelings on decoder brands and all of that. I mean, and these Atlas locomotives, I've got no complaints about them. They operate really smoothly. I mean, if you're going to have a layout that features Alco locomotives, then you need to make sure that the sound is good. I could probably put a little bit bigger speakers in the locomotives. That would maybe be the only thing. But already, I mean, I have the sound turned down a bit just because I live with 4 other people that don't necessarily want the sound of Alco locomotives filling the house. I don't know why not. I don't know what's wrong with them, but, to each their own, I suppose. Okay, so now I have to push it back just a little bit more to clear the switch here, the siding. I guess, so here's a question for you. Those of you who, like Mr. Berlaga, who happens to be a professional railroader, is there a difference between a siding, I mean, I know a spur is usually dead ends. But for instance, here at Gilfillan, it's one switch, one way in and out. That's a spur. But would you still call it a siding? Even if it doesn't have two switches? You see what I'm saying? Maybe that doesn't make any sense to anybody else but me. But if it dead ends, I tend to call it a spur. If it has another way out, I tend to call it a siding. And I think that you would want to be able to differentiate that on the railroad, but maybe the railroad, again, maybe they don't care. Yes, 28 minutes to get to Gilfillan, Jeremiah. I should have warned you. This is what you get. Just imagine rail fanning this line when they were going like 5 miles an hour for 25 miles. It'd take up half your day. You could just walk with the train, basically. So, you know, get yourself a little beverage. Get comfortable. I'm not doing this to, you know, to be quick about it. On the old CP, a lot of the sidings had one end. Yeah, so like, I guess they'd probably still refer to them as sidings, even if they took out one of the switches. Anyway, it's the elevator track, probably what they called it at Gilfillan. There used to be a lot more stuff here at Gilfillan. Someone had posted, was it Tom Edwards, I think, had posted a track diagram of Gilfillan. And there were like livestock pens, the elevators. At one time, Gilfillan was not a hopping place, but it had a few more things than what it did at the end. And even by the time I'm modeling it, the siding, the switch was long gone. But I've left it in because it's my railroad. Like I said, gotta have something to do. So here's the car card for the Union Pacific boxcar we picked up. We'll leave the one for the card we dropped off. All right. And then we take all the rest of our cards here. And again, I'm going to move the camera first before we move the train. That way, you can see it move along here. Next point of interest, we'll get you a shot of it coming over the trestle here. It'll be here in about 10 minutes, Jeremiah. Again, maybe we can pretend that the train is a lot heavier, you know, having to work up these steep grades of the Redwood Falls Branch. Not so much. Although I'm sure it takes its own particular kind of skill to keep a train moving 5 miles an hour when the track is kind of undulating. All right, now you're going to see the train stop. I'll move the camera again because we've made it here to the east switch of Redwood Falls.